welcome to everybody. We are on day 2 of our work. Thank you so much for joining in. So we have a live broadcast on TikTok and on Instagram. So, and of course we have our live webinar. Please make sure that you notice, if you're on the live webinar, the button that says questions and answer. That is where you can ask your questions on the webinar. And I'm not sure on TikTok if you can be able to ask live. If you see something that says ask live, please press that. Yes, Rachel, it's working. Thank you. And of course, if you are on Instagram, you can just write on the comments section. So I hope we are well. So yesterday we started with our work for this coming 3 days. We have been doing the work yesterday, today, and we will continue tomorrow, Wednesday. We will start at 6 p.m. So volume is low. Let me try to see what that is about. Let me know if the volume is better. I think I was just speaking a little bit slow. No, so let me know if you can hear me well. Please let me know if you can hear me well. Okay, so yesterday we discussed a few things, a lot of things actually. And I'm just gonna do a quick recap just for those who are not here, but the recording is available. If you need the recording, send me a message. I will put the WhatsApp number on the webinar 061-221-55867. But also, if you're on the webinar, you'll get emails on all the stuff that we're doing, and I'll send you some extra things on the webinar, because I have your emails. But if you're on Instagram, you can DM me. If you're on TikTok, you can also send me a DM or send a WhatsApp. There's a WhatsApp number on my profile, or you can take it down 061-221-5867. Yeah, 061-221-5867. So I'm gonna be looking everywhere. Do not mind that I've got 3 devices here that I am using, so I'm gonna be looking everywhere else. So why we're doing this 3 days work, it is because we are having a lot of energy shifts in the planets, are doing a whole lot of stuff. There is retrogrades, there's all things, but the one that, because the thing is, every time an energy shift, you can tap into it, or and use it for what that energy shift is about, or you can just let it go and miss that, I think, a great opportunity to do some work that is important. But also you can not do anything. So if there is an energy that is happening, that energy is brought to us. Amo, you're gonna check on Instagram if you can hear me well. Everybody on the live webinar, can you hear me well? Maybe it's just Amo's device that is low on sound. Please let me know if you can hear me well on the webinar. Okay, so the current retrograde is a Mercury retrograde, and this is an important energy, because if you tap into it, if you use it to your benefit, it can be really beneficial. Now, why is the Mercury retrograde important? It helps us to deal with our throat chakra. Throat chakra is the communication chakra. Why the throat chakra is so important? Well, it's important for a lot of other things, but the most important thing that the throat chakra does is manifestation. If you are tired of working hard, if you are tired of toiling is you trying everything under the sun and nothing seems to work. If that is it's something you don't want to do anymore. You're tired of the hard working. You can tap into your magical energy and make things come to you instead of you chasing after stuff. Now, why is that? Now, if you know the Bible says that God created the whole entire universe by using the throat chakra, the word. God said, let there be, let there be, let there be, and all of it was there. Now, the only thing I will ask you to do is not to do manifestations that are against you, manifestations that are not that are not just about you, manifestations that are about other people, and but just focus on yourself, fix you, manifest things that serves you, your own house, your own car, your own whatever. Now, all these things can be attracted to us. All the things that we want can be attracted to us. This is where you no longer go chasing, but you are receiving, or you are attracting. Now, this happens by word, which is your throat chakra. And that is why the Mercury retrograde is helping us to do that work. So the 3 days, Monday, today, and tomorrow, is about us doing that work, preparing ourselves for things that we want to attract, things that we want to come into our lives, because we have seen that toiling does not really serve us. Toiling and doing everything in our power, but still getting little results or no results, has gotten us exhausted and traumatized some of the times. Okay, so that is the purpose of the work. Now, of course, the problem that we face in this planet, well, maybe in this physical existence, is that we have blockages. So this throat chakra can be blocked. Now, if it's blocked, that is when you cannot say, let there be, and whatever that you want to happen, happens. Because this chakra is blocked, you can say, I want this, but the information is not getting where it needs to get. You are not manifesting the things that you want to manifest. So that is why you need to do the work of unblocking this chakra. That is why we're going to be doing this work in the next 3 days. Now, the important thing about manifesting is that your energy is in a high vibrational state. You will not be able to manifest anything good. You can manifest other things, and you are always manifesting, like all the time you are manifesting. But if you are in a low vibration, you will manifest things that are not what you probably want to manifest. So every day when we wake up in the morning until we go to bed, we are manifesting all our lives. Whatever you are living right now, whatever you have right now, whatever is going on in your life right now, you have manifested it. Now, depending on how you were feeling yesterday, how you were feeling last week, how you were feeling last year, that is what you manifested to the next moment. We are all creators. We all create our own reality according to what vibration we are at. So that is why it is important to unblock these chakras and raise your vibration so that you can manifest the things that you want. Now, we are blocking our chakras, or our chakras are blocked, and now specifically talking about this throat chakra. When we get traumatized or we get hurt, sometimes, yesterday I was explaining that sometimes you have gotten things traumatizing you at an early age in life. You had trauma and abuse that happened to you while you were young. That's what we're talking about the whole week, the abuse things that have happened. And sometimes we only know the specific abuse, like I was financially abused, I was physically abused, I was mentally abused, maybe sexually abused, all these almost physical abuse that we can actually notice. But there's also And this, I see it all the time when I work with people. There's abuse that happens to us that we don't even know, we don't even recognize that it's happening. And these are the things that will block us for a longer time. So yesterday we were talking about a lot of mental abuse things that have happened to us, and we talked about 3 types of stuff that happens in our lives, that can happen at any time in different situations or set up in our life, that can cause us real serious trauma, that blocks our chakras, that blocks the throat chakra. That then now when we are asking, a lot of times when people ask, come through and we have a session and they are asking, their guys normally say, but you haven't asked us anything. And this person is like, no, I've been praying, I've been asking. But this is where then it is said that you've asked the miss, your information didn't go through, didn't get to where it was supposed to get. So that's why you have not seen what you've been asking for. Now, yesterday we talked about 2 things when we were supposed to talk about 3, but we could only talk about 2 things. We talked about brainwashing, how brainwashing happens to us a lot of times. And while it is happening, we are now, it happens in a way that ends up blocking our energies. So when these blockages have happened, please, if you are on Instagram, please keep tapping on that screen. Tap on that screen, it's very important. And please click on the share button so that other people can be able to join in. If you're on Instagram, please make sure that you follow, and so that other people can be able to see the broadcast. Thank you for that. As you're doing it, welcome to everybody. Yes. So we talked about brainwashing. Brainwashing is a form of abuse to our souls, to our emotions, and mostly to our mental state. That can happen sometimes without you noticing, or without you understanding or knowing that this is a serious abuse to you. So when these things happen, then your chakras get blocked. But the good news is that you can then go back and heal those traumas or heal those abuses that has happened. And when you do that, then your chakras open, and then your life can continue. Now, a lot of times you can ask yourself, why would God let somebody brainwash me? And now I am blocked from experiencing a good life. It is not because God doesn't care about you or God just let it happen. It is because every time you pass through these things, you are learning. Every time you experience a narcissist, every time you experience workplace trauma, in terms of bullying, in terms of all the things that are happening that are not so great, you are supposed to learn how to live in this world in a way that does not affect you, but in a way that you can then be the change. So every time there's a trouble in your life, every time there's a challenge in your life, it is for you to learn how to deal with these things. Now, yesterday I was saying that you should never ever be scared of narcissists. Narcissists are sent to you to bring you to a new level of life. Narcissists are sent to you to build you up, and also you are supposed to not be scared of them. You're supposed to be able to deal with them, and the moment you are able to deal with them, or you have dealt with them, you have now gone to another level. You have now grown. You can be able to manifest bigger things because you have passed through this valley of the shadow of death, and you did not stumble, you did not die, but you passed through, and now you know what's up. So every time you are having these things that makes you feel like life is unfair, it is for you to grow. So allow the growth to happen. Allow yourself to grow. It is all for your goodness. But once these things have happened, you need to cleanse them. They will block your chakras. They will block your chakras. But then now you need to do the work of cleansing those things and getting over this hate. So yesterday we talked about brainwashing, and I'm going to just a little bit explain what that was about. And then also we talked about gaslighting. and today we're gonna start at the third one that we're supposed to do yesterday, which is love bombing. So these are actual traumatic situations or effects that comes through to us in ways that we do not understand, but we connect with whoever is applying this to us in a trauma setup. We connect with them. We sort of allow it because we need the lesson. Now I'm gonna explain how this happens, and once you understand how this happens, you will no longer be able to bring it to your life. You will no longer allow it into your life. So yesterday we talked about something that is important in terms of gaslighting. Gaslighting, we said, it is when somebody makes you believe that something that is not true is actually true. So I talked about how gaslighting started. Gaslighting was a term that came out of a movie that was playing on TVs or whatever in 1944. And here it was a movie about a man who made his wife totally lose her mind and believe things that did not exist as if they were, right? And she totally lost her. Oh, sorry about that. I forgot to put my phone on I need to put it on flight mode just because the calls are gonna come through, mess up my broadcast. Okay, sorry guys. If you're on Instagram, please just let me know if you can still hear me if you're on Instagram, because the sound might have cut off. Just make sure you can hear me if you're on Instagram. And there's a storm outside, so you might also just hear the storm outside, but I'm sure it's not that bad. So this man will okay, you can hear me, thank you. If you're on Instagram, let me know if you can still hear me. Now this man will dim the lights and let his wife believe that the lights were dimmed, but he will switch them on and switch them off, and she really totally believed every other thing because she was made to believe that things were happening that were not happening, until she was totally dependent on him. And the problem is that once you are gaslighted for a long time, you then start to think the gaslighting movement or anything that is giving that energy of a being gaslighted is true, and you continually in your life then now attract situations where you are gonna be gaslighted. So you are in your first relationship, and remember the first cut is the deepest. You are in a situation where you are being controlled mentally, mind-wise, emotionally wise, and then now you are taught that this is how you're supposed to behave. And then later on in life, everybody that comes into your life, you start to like, or you are familiar with that spirit of being gaslighted. Now people who truly love you, you reject them because that doesn't seem normal, because now you are shaped to be in a situation of being gaslighted. So you prefer people who gaslight you. You prefer people who wants to control you, and you continually now will go on into life and attracting them and being attracted to them and seeing them, and then ignoring or chasing away all the people that are now loving you. And that is how you'll see people say, I keep getting into the same kind of relationships. Like, why is it that good people don't see me? Why is it that I never attract good people? No, it's because you got this first card and it was never cleared up from your system. Now your system believes, your brain now believes that this is the correct way of life. Matlate just says your information is so eye-opening. Thank you, sis, for joining us. So you continually now are looking for what is familiar. It's not you consciously looking for trouble. It's not you who consciously looking for people that can do these things to you. It's your brain that has been now set up in that way. It's trained in that way that if a person is not gaslighting me, they don't love me. Now, big storm outside, seriously big, but hopefully the sound is still fine, the network is still okay. So you continually now feel at home with the people that are traumatizing you. So your first job, you find a boss that is all the time gaslighting you or doing any of the other things that are mentally disturbing or are mentally deteriorating you, and then you lose all your confidence, and every other job you get into, you want a job where they pay you less. Now, it's not that you get to a job and say, hey people, can you pay me less, I'm the one who will work for free here. No, you get in there and the company that can pay you less is the one that gives you the job. You go to 5 interviews, all the companies that can pay you good money, they say no, they decline your application. You do so well in interviews, and the companies that are good do not say yes. The companies that are toxic takes you, because your energy is now set up in that manner that I am good for the stuff that is not so good. That is the whole point, that you got traumatized. You have a trauma, you don't even know about it, and it's continually manifesting all the time. You don't even know what's wrong. Why do I just keep being taken for granted? I get into relationships, I'm the one who gets taken for granted. I'm the one who gets this and this and this. You are hurt, you are wounded, but you don't even know it. Now, there are things that you know that you're wounded by and you can fix those. But then here I'm talking about the things that you might not even notice, but they are there. And you have never gotten the time to actually cleanse them and deal with them. So now, the good thing is that you are able to go back to that moment, to that moment of first cut, that moment of the first time this happened, and then you can be able to say, okay, I am now changing my mind, I am changing my whole brain setup to no longer attract people and places that are going to treat me this way. I am going to now attract things that are going to empower me, because there are jobs that you get there and they just give you what you need because you don't have that issue anymore. So this gaslighting happens in cults, where you find, like yesterday I was talking about the fact that you go to a church and they tell you there's a papa here, and if you live here in this church, you leave this church, you're not gonna get you know, bad things are gonna happen to you, da 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 da, and you sort of are linked to places where when you get there you're gonna be abused in ways like you must give, and you don't get anything back. But you have been trained. So political organizations do this, governments do these things in a bigger scale, of course. Corporations do this, you know, companies do this. They want you to be an employee forever and to never leave. So they will do these things to, in your subconscious mind, to make sure that you keep to them. All right. So that was gaslighting. Then brainwashing is it's a little bit worse than gaslighting, because in the brainwashing system, I'm just trying to get my Instagram to work better here. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so the Instagram is not doing well. Okay, hopefully it's fine now. So brainstorming is a little bit much worse. It's one of the most powerful psychological things that can happen to you. Now this you see in a lot of people that are in abusive relationships. because there is all that isolation, there is all that destabilization of your thoughts and your emotions. You end up believing that I cannot live without this person. You end up believing that I cannot live without this job. You end up believing that I cannot leave this place. No matter how much hurt you have been given, then no matter how much hurt you are exposed to, you end up defending the people. So if you've ever had a person defending somebody that is beating them up, defending a company that is doing them bad things, that is when they are brainwashed. They reject every help. That if somebody comes and say, hey, we want to help you, they reject that help. That person has gone through this process of being brainwashed, and now they will take a gun and fight for their abuser. They will do anything to make sure that the abuser is safe. They get so connected to the abuse and the abuser that you cannot take them out. If you come to them and tell them something about the abuser, they tell you, no, you are wrong. That is not true. So, of course, if that person is in that state at that time, they can't come out. But the more they get to hear about other information, the more they get to hear another side of the story. If they are lucky enough that they can still have access to outside information, because most of the time you'll find that the abuser has taken them in and they put them in a space where they cannot get in contact with anybody else, no friends, no family, no nothing. This abuser has gone and tell you that everybody around you is wrong, everybody around you is trying to mess up your life, everybody around you. So now you are in this space where you are just making sure that you honor this abuser. It doesn't matter what they do to you, you honor them. And then maybe let's say the abuser lets you go, you will go and look for another abuser. You will only be in connections with places where you are feeling that you must be controlled. And brainwashing is so painful because you will do bad things to yourself just to make the abuser happy. You will change your whole entire life. You will change how you look. You will change what you do. You will give everything you've got to this abuser no matter what happens. So in a brainstorming situation, you will always find yourself totally closed off to any other help. You will reject help. You will not want it. But then the good news is that if you start to bring yourself to an awareness moment where you find other people who says, oh, you know what, I'm also going through that, and you keep now engaging with other people, then you will start that process of coming out of these things little by little. But then normally, even if now you know that you're in the situation, you are still trapped, and the trap is big. Is big, that it almost feels like you're gonna die. Like if somebody talks about, can you leave this job, you feel like I will die without it. Can you leave this relationship, you feel like you will die without it. Can you stop going to this place, you feel like you will die if you don't go there. So that is how you know that you've been brainwashed and you are now trapped. So, but the good news again, like I said, you can be able to come out of this type of abuse and type of mental trauma. Okay, so today I want to just talk a little bit about the love bombing. Also, I think this is another thing that we also experience a lot, and we sometimes don't understand it so well. And when it happens, we really think we are lucky, but actually we are just being bewitched. Literally, somebody yesterday asked questions about if people actually do extra work to just keep you in these cages. Yeah, they can actually do extra work to keep you in these cages. So the whole point of it is that you have to learn how to break through. You have to exercise your muscles to break through from these things. So, I mean, just still on the brainwashing thing, in South Africa, the whole apartheid law was based on brainstorming. The black people to not want to do anything for themselves, money-wise, job-wise. They have to stay in jobs. They couldn't start their own businesses. They were brainwashed to a point that they if you go out as a black person, I see it every day, a black person that is earning 30,000 rand will be able to pay for their medical aid, will be able to pay for this. But that person goes and start their own business, they're making 300,000 rand a month, they can't do anything, they don't know where the money goes, because the brainwash is saying to them, no, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, you cannot. You see a person winning the lottery, in 3 months, in 4 months, the money is finished, because the brainwash says, no, you cannot be living comfortable, you cannot, you need to be suffering. Why are you not suffering? So then you will work so hard, manifest something, but then again lose it all. Or you have an opportunity coming up, just before this opportunity is supposed to manifest, everything goes off. People decide to not, they're no longer paying you, they want to use somebody else, they want to hire somebody else. It is because now the brainstorming in your brain kicks off and say, no, you are not that person. Remember, does not happen to you. So you see why brainstorming is so, brainwashing is so strong. Now, love bombing. So love bombing is that effect where your abuser will make you feel so good about yourself or about something, and they will do everything under the sun to make sure that you're feeling so good. But now once you feel so good, then they will start saying to you, they will then mix the two, which is the gaslighting and the brainwashing, to say to you, you know what, you see that you were feeling so good, but now you are not doing well here and here, so you're supposed to do this and this to continue feeling this good. So you will feel that these people see you, you feel seen, you feel noticed, you feel that you have never met somebody like this, you feel like this company loves you so much, you feel that you are the best thing since sliced bread. And then immediately that whole system is hijacked. It's hijacked in a way that now you start to be, you need to pay for the good feeling. So now you start to pay for it. Then now you are introduced to a system of paying for the good feeling. So now you'll be told, oh, you need to do this and this for this good feeling to continue happening. Now you are not being great, so the good feeling is gonna be taken away from you. So, and then now you start to have there's the new process that is introduced, which is this thing of a reward and punishment. So you get punished by this good feeling being taken away, so which then your cortisol and all your hormones now go into a raging storm. And then now when you do what whoever is doing this to you once, and then you are now again given the whole feel good again, then it gets taken away, then it's given. So now you are literally in the stress mode. Once you are in the stress mode, then you lose every other understanding of what's going around you. You just want the good feeling, you just want the good feeling. So even people who gamble, that's what happens. You start now chasing around the feeling good, and when it's not happening, you start to work hard to fix it. So you'll find people in relationships saying, I'm doing something wrong. You start overthinking, what did I do wrong? What did I say wrong? How did I make this person angry? How did I make my boss angry? How can I make him happy? How can I go back to that time when we were good? How do I go back to the time when everything was okay? You're working so hard now to go back to that time, but that time actually didn't exist. You were just being trained so that you can do all these things. So you then start to forget about your life. Your life stands still now. You are now chasing this feel good. You want these people to make you feel good again. And at some point, they will open a door, a little bit of a door, and put that good feeling, and you say, oh, it's back, oh, it's back. But what will happen is that, again, while they totally dissemble your environment, now you don't know what is right. You find yourself apologizing for things you shouldn't be apologizing for. You'll find yourself holding your emotions back because you cannot complain, because just maybe you complain, they told you can't complain, they told you can't answer back, they've trained you to not do these things that talks about what you want. It's all about you just getting this little bit of feel good, and you want this feel good so much, you want things to go back to where they were before, and you work hard for 20 years trying to go back to a moment where you hear somebody say, oh well, my relationship was good for 1 year and then the next 19 years was horrible. That's what happens. You've been working so hard for the past 3 years to bring back the relationship you once had 5 years ago. Well, you cannot be working hard for things that have to make you happy, because happiness doesn't come from another person. Happiness is an inside job. But then when people hurt you, when people traumatize you, they make you think that your happiness lies in their hands. So today you will see people say, I want to be in a relationship, I want companionship. No, it's a file that was installed in them by somebody who love bombed them, brainstormed them, gaslighted them to tell them that you need somebody to be happy. And then you need somebody to give you money in a job situation. You can't do it by yourself. You need somebody to pray for you because you can't do it by yourself. Now, you are continually looking for that in other people. You are going from door to door trying to look for that. And you have stopped everything that has to do with your joy, everything that has to do with anything that makes you happy. You are running after that feeling. And it is not true. You are searching for something that doesn't exist, but somebody trained you wrongly. And they gave you this thing that doesn't exist. And now you are hooked. You think it's real. It's like drinking alcohol. We all know drinking alcohol is bad for us. Drinking alcohol is gonna be a good feeling for 15 minutes. After that you feel sick. But people who are alcoholics or who are addicted to alcohol, they keep chasing after it. They never say, ah man, this alcohol thing is actually not good for me. Even if they know that it's bad, they still chase up because the brain now is asking for it. The brain is asking for the drugs. The brain is asking for this. Somebody else will use things like sex to initiate you into this brainwash or this gaslighting. They will always have a certain ritual that they connect you to. So it could be money. A lot of people wake up every day and go to places they hate, but they are telling you they are there for money. But you like, but you can start a business and actually make more. But like, it doesn't click in their brain that, oh, that is true. Actually, I can make more by myself than going to this place that I hate. But they have to go there. The brain is set up in that way. So even now, even if they stop this job, they're gonna find another one. Same thing. You are chasing something that doesn't exist, and you believe that this thing exists. So you have no idea how many people I see on a daily basis. They are chasing after things that do not exist, and they are so unhappy, they are so depressed, they are so traumatized. And they've totally forgotten about their own dreams, their own goals, their own callings, their own purpose. Because purpose is what will really truly make you happy. But they are chasing after these things that were installed in their brains when they were 3, things that were installed in their brains when they were 5, things that were installed in their brains when they were 8. These things were installed when you were 21. You don't even know this thing was installed. This program was installed, and the person who even installed it is gone, maybe even dead, but this program is still running in your brain. Now go into that comment section and if you feel like you have been chasing after some things that are causing you pain, like, look at your goals. Your goals are supposed to make you excited, not cause you depression and desperation. If there's something that you feel like you need it, but you need it with that desperate mode, you are probably running a wrong file. Because if it's a good dream, if it's a good something that your crown chakra is bringing to you, it's supposed to get you so excited. You're supposed to think about it and then jump and then do it. That is something that is godly, and that is something that you're really supposed to be chasing after or working towards. But if it's something that when you think about it, you feel your tummy goes like, or you feel all the stress, I can't have this thing, this thing is so far from me, there is a wrong file. There is a wrong file that has been installed, and you need to take it off, because if you don't take it off, the problem is that you are never gonna achieve this thing, because it really does not exist. And it is normally, it can be dressed in, I just want a car, but it's not really a car that you want. We all know that. I just want some money, but it's not money that you really want. That is what we actually, when we're doing the longer course of the manifestation work, we go and we detach those things that you think you want money, but it's not money you want. You think you want a husband or a wife, but it's not really a husband or a wife that you want. There is a file that is running the wrong way, but it's dressed, like they said, a wolf dressed in a sheep's clothing. Yes, that is why you think your goals are not coming true, because there's a file that is there. So do you have goals that you feel like they traumatizing you? You think of these goals and you feel like, I don't feel good about this. You feel so desperate, or you feel like, if you don't have this thing, you're gonna die, or if this thing doesn't happen. That's how you know. That's how you know something's not right. Hlengi says, my finances, Mambu, I really need to uninstall whatever trauma is causing financial stagnation. So again, like that, Hlengi. Finances, remember, money is an energy. Money is an energy, which means that just like air, you can have as much as you want, as much as you need to. I see that there's somebody who has raised their hand. If you want to ask by raising your hand, you can definitely do that. I will allow it to talk. I'll allow you to talk on the live broadcast, of course. Now, when you are, so let's talk about the finances thing that you've just brought up. So in your finances, money is an energy. Now, the situation where you don't have enough money, or let's just say you are in debt. Debt is not a lack of money. There is never a lack of money in the planet. Now, I found out that the hard way. Some of you know my story of 40 million rand debt. I got out of that like this, but there was the files that I had to delete, and then I was out of 40 million. One night I woke up and there was no more debt in my life, and I slept with it, and I woke up, there isn't what I wrote a book about it, like, you know what I found out was wrong with me that connected me to that. Now, when you have a file, specifically now Kenny is talking about the finances thing, when you have a file that is installed and dressed, the wrong file that is dressed in something good as like, I want money, I want more money, there isn't no lack of money. There can never be a lack of money. There is only a flow of money. So money can flow to other people easily, and you're like, they don't even do anything. They don't even do much. They just get all these opportunities. But I work so hard just to put food on the table, and I don't even get over that. It's just the food on the table. So now now let's talk about if you are in debt. Debt again is not a lack of money. Debt is just a symptom. Just like when you have flu, the coughing and the temperature and the snot and all these things are not the flu. These are symptoms that you have the flu. The actual flu is a virus. It's in your body. You can't feel and touch. The moment you go to a doctor and they give you an injection or whatever to kill that virus inside of you, then the symptoms will immediately stop. The temperature will immediately come back normal. The fever is automatically gone. There's nothing really that they give you to stop them. And if, let's say, they don't kill the virus and then they just give you something for the fever, they can give it to you, it lasts 2 hours, and then you are back to fever. They give you something for the headache, it lasts for 2 hours, and you are back to the headache, because they haven't killed the source of the fever, which is the actual virus, which is the flu. They just stopped it for 2 minutes. Now, that is just the headache and the fever. You do not stop that by trying to pray it over and over and over. You can try to pray it. By the time you are almost done with the debt, it comes back. Almost done with it, it comes back. Or you just cannot have enough for the month. Or you just have enough from the 1st to the 15th. After the 15th, there's drama. Then you'll get money again, and then it will last you for 15 days instead of 30, and that is just a cycle. It's not that there isn't money. It's because you have been trained that this is how you will live. Now, you can be trained at school, you could have been trained at church, you could have been trained in your family background, you could have been trained at your job, you could have been trained anywhere, that this is how you will live. So anyway, now you have food, you have data, you are on this. But that is, you are taught that this is how much you can have up to here. In my book, I talk about something called a money set point. Everybody has a money set point, and if your money set point is at 10,000 rand, that is a program that has been installed in you. You've been brainwashed to know that I only earn 10,000 rand. Okay, I have a degree. People with a degree, they earn 10,000. That's it. I can never earn 100,000. Now, at one time, I sat down with a very highly respected professor. You know, the people that have 15 doctorates, like so big in terms of their education. And he said to me, Busi, I don't have money. I can never earn more than this because my degrees and my doctorates and my this and this does not allow me to earn more than this. And I was like, what? Somebody who doesn't have one education has more money. But that's the point. How is the brain trained? So when it comes to money, I am very I normally don't like to talk about relationships because I feel like the things don't really match nice. But when we talk about these kind of trauma and in money, it makes so much sense. It's so easy to deal with, because if you are told that you can only get 200,000 and then it stops there, there's no way. Any day you are at 102, you are at 120, you are at 150, something is going to happen that is going to ask for the 50,000. Extra 50,000, why do you have an extra 50,000? No, you are not that person. You cannot have an extra 50,000. Let's bring you back. So you will be like, oh, I found a tender there, I found a work there, and then it happened, then it was gone. Then we were back to factory settings. So it is a file that was installed. That is why we need to go back and say, when did this file of me only ending at 10,000, only ending at 100,000, only ending at this amount was installed in me? When was it done? How was it done? You will be able to do that for yourself. Now, sometimes these files can be so big that you can't really do it yourself, so you need somebody to help you do it. But once you notice that I have a money blockage, there is a file that has been installed that is keeping you in a brainstorm, in brainwashed moment that you can't have this. You are not this person. You are not that. Okay. And somebody else, anonymous here, says, that's me. Financially, money comes and I don't even know what I use it for. Totally indebted. Spiritually feels like there's a spiritually feels like there is a greater me in me. Yeah, and of course you will find that you feel that something, no, there's more to me, that I can do better than this. This is not all I am about. But why is it that I'm not why is it that I'm not able to do it? Excuse me, guys. So my class says, how can I try deleting myself? So that is why I said tomorrow we're going to start the work of doing that, because you need to open the throat chakra. The energy right now of Mercury is allowing us to dig deep, and it's not fun digging deep, but if you dig deep enough, and I've done this myself, I know it's not fun. But if you dig deep enough, you are able to get to a point where you can connect with where this drama started. Now, if you find that there's a way that your life has been running and you just didn't know, okay, let me just do this. I want to try something here, guys, on TikTok. Okay, yeah, okay, hopefully. So every time, oh, that is what happens.
Hello.
Hi sis, do you have a question? I was just testing this. I wanted to see how this works. If you have a question, you can ask, but if you don't have one, let me then take you out. Do you want to ask something?
Nah, I think you pressed the wrong thing. Press the guest, not the hosting part.
Oh, I pressed the guest. Do you know how to take yourself off that?
Yes.
Oh, do that, okay, ma'am. I was hoping that it will take in people who want to take question, not the guest one.
Okay, so
Okay, thanks, ma'am. Okay, so I don't know how to use TikTok now. I've been trying. I need to get a TikTok tutorial because I always press the wrong button instead. Okay, but anyway, that is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. I want us to dedicate the session into the clearing. So please don't make sure that tomorrow you're coming through. So tomorrow we're going to be doing like tasks, and we're going to be really triggering the subconscious mind to give you the information. Please come through with a notebook and a pen so that you can take notes down. But like, I want there's good exercises that can trigger your subconscious mind. And you know, the good thing about that is that once you trigger the subconscious mind tells you all the information that you have inside of it. Like, you can open the file and look at all the notes. Once you look at all the notes, you can be like, oh, this is the rubbish, this is the problem, this is the problem. Then now you know what to delete, you know what to keep. So there are many methods depending on what kind of trauma you've been through. There are many methods of deleting these things. Now, over the years, I mean, in the past 15 years, I have seen a lot of stuff. I've seen people come to me without anything, specifically on the money thing, and I've been able to manifest so much. You know, the money thing is the easiest, I must say. Now, the second easy thing again is health. Then number 3 is relationships. So when you figure it out with the money, you sort of now start to understand how to do the other ones. So you can literally manifest your money quicker. Then the second quickest is your health. Manifesting a changed life. You might be going through things like cancer or something like that, but you can be able to delete a file, because even cancer in your body is a file that is running. And we have seen people who have deleted a cancer file in their system. Now, there is different ways of changing these chemicals in your brain. There is, some of you know this, I use psychedelics. We use ayahuasca. Ayahuasca has helped me to change my mind chemicals in so many ways. Like seriously, stuff that was blocked inside my mind that I couldn't access. After taking ayahuasca, I was able to open those files. Now, ayahuasca will help you to understand what is it that is there that needs to be removed, and then what is really there that is true. So now, once you start with these processes, then every process, one after the other, just helps you to get better at understanding what's the problem. So ayahuasca helps you really to the files open. Now you know what you're dealing with. San Pedro, another psychedelic that we use at the retreat, is one a psychedelic that is very masculine, but it helps you to then take the steps. So once ayahuasca helps you to open the files, you have now the ability to take the steps, because sometimes you feel like you are uboshiwe, like you have shackles around your wrist. You can't do anything. You can't do the invoice, you can't do the proposal, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. But then once you've gone through the process of understanding some stuff about yourself, then you are able to plan and now chase after what's really yours, not just the things that are not yours. Because when you're chasing after things that are you've been programmed to chase after, that's when you never get to where you're going. But now, once you take in San Pedro, then you start to, oh, no, man, I wasn't supposed to be chasing that. Actually, what I want is this. Then now you also have the energy to do what you need to do. Then there are processes like fire cleansing, where you literally are stopping the trauma of your past life, because you have lived here before. If you are in this live recording or in any of this podcast, you are an old soul. And when you're an old soul, it feels like life is just harder than everybody else to you. But you have brought things from your past life that are good, that you really need to come here and use them quickly and benefit from them, and benefit the society and benefit everybody else here in the planet. But also you come with things that needs to be finalized. So they are heavy. The things that needs to be finalized are very heavy on you. So you will get in here and you will feel like, I can't move, I can't do anything. So during the fire cleansing ceremony, we are then now saying, okay, I get it. I came with these things from my past life, but I'm going to put them down here now. And I am going to allow myself to use the good stuff that I came out with. I came from my past life. I came with understanding how to read the tarot cards. I came out understanding how to read astrology. My studying astrology was just like literally 1 hour I could get it. While it takes people 20 years to understand astrology, it took me so little time. Like one day I knew astrology, but these are things I came with in my past life. But after taking the ayahuasca and the San Pedro, my files started to open. Then I learned these things so quickly, and there are so many people that I also teach these things, but I normally start with them with the psychedelics to open up their energy, so then they can remember their past life easier. I came in knowing how to shoot a gun, and I didn't know I knew how to shoot a gun. I went to a gun training. Literally 10 minutes later, I was shooting more than the most advanced in the room. And the guy that was an instructor there was like, oh, you are lying. You've never seen a gun? I'm like, never ever. I've never seen it. I've never touched it. This is my first time. But the moment I touched it, the information just loaded. And I felt the smell. I remembered things I shouldn't be remembering. And I could do, like I was at the highest level of knowing how to use it. And I had never ever been trained in this lifetime. So you have things in your past life that you came with here that are so important. You know how to make money, you know how to be a businesswoman, you know how to be a businessman, but you can't access that information because you haven't opened those files for yourself. Now, understanding how to heal chakras and how to see chakras in a person. I learned that over like one day, quickly. Other people go to your Twasa and then they stay there for months and months and months. I didn't go there, but literally my guys would teach me these things like in a split second. But it happened when I started the process of opening these chakras. And now fire cleansing, I was talking about fire cleansing. Fire cleansing is that thing that allows you to bring back your past life, turn down the bag and take out all the stuff that is not good for you in this season, make peace with it, your shadow stuff, and then take on the blessings, because you bring so many, if you're an old soul, you bring with you like big things, big blessings that will make you live this life like nobody. People look at you and be like, I wish I was you, I want to be you. Like already people are saying they want to be you, but you like, but I don't see what you see in me. No, they see that you are big, you came with all these things. That's why they will try to make you not get things done. They will try to take stuff from you. They will come borrow money from you, and you're like, but I'm broke, why are you borrowing money from me? They're like, you have it, give it to us. They see that you came with big things, but you haven't done the work of unwrapping all these things. And now there's so many traumas that have come in. So you see, there's the trauma that came in this planet, and then there is the whole thing that you're coming with. Now there's so much. Then you lose in your mind. Then you find you at the mental hospital. You are there over and over because it's a lot you are carrying. Now the mental hospital tells you something is wrong with you. Unfortunately, they will tell you that something is wrong with you, but there's nothing wrong with you. There is just you finding these files is so hard to open. That is why I said to you, when we do this process, so literally fire cleansing is one of my favorite. It changed my life. Fire cleansing ceremony is the one thing that I saw my past lives there, and I decided what I wanted and what I didn't want. And I got a chance. In the fire cleansing ceremony, you get a window where you can say yes to stuff and say no to stuff. Literally, you can be able to say, okay, fine, this I put in my experience, this I don't. There is a choice to a certain level to what you want and what you don't want. So, and then we have river cleansing at the retreat and all of this. And so we're having the next retreat happening on the 18th of April. I have drank ayahuasca, I don't know how many times. I have lost count of how many times I've drank ayahuasca, and I promise you, every time I drink it, it opens another fire. It changes something else. I am one of those people that was just traumatized. My childhood was just like horror. And there was so much now that I had to unpack. I was literally in my childhood running my past life file and attracting so much trauma in my life from just who became my mother, just right there. I was just, from there, I just attracted the right people to traumatize me enough. So I had to go through these processes of letting go, and then finally understanding who I really am. And there was a time where I thought, oh my goodness, feeling sorry for myself. Oh, I grew up in a family like this. Oh me. Then I had to go and let go of that, and I'd be like, oh, I'm actually so lucky. So my story changed from, oh, I got sequestrated, I was owing the bank 40 million rand, I'm such a bad person, and shame and all of that. And that became a story that healed so many people's lives. But I had to go through a process of changing the file. Okay, somebody else is saying, Angie's saying, can I clear the traumas without taking plant medicine? Yeah, so there is, like I said, many ways to do it. There's many ways to kill the cat. Now there are like long, what should I say? There are processes that takes long. There are processes that's quick. Now, depending again on how much debt you are cleaning, like you can use just a cloth and water because the debt is not so bad, but like some other debt needs like jig and domestos and like a whole lot of scrapping with the skateboard, depending what you're dealing with, age. Now, I always say, cleansing, you can cleanse from your bathroom. You can put salt in your water and get into that bath and cleanse. That's the cleansing. There are things that can't be cleansed in your bathroom with that salt and water. There are things that need serious cleansing down there at the river. So, you see, Babalo sells chemicals that cleanse your house. Those are the nice things that you can scrape around with, and they do a lot of good stuff in the house. But you see, there is things that needs a little bit more push. So, Angie, you can clear these things. You can work with them. There is a new technology, a new spiritual technology that I found out that I've been practicing lately, and it's been amazing. That kills all the anxiety in a person, and you don't even have to take a psychedelic. And I really had to create it for the people who are just scared of psychedelic. And I mean, psychedelic is not a big deal. I promise you it's not. But then there is just like sometimes like you are feeling like I'm scared of it, so I don't want to take it. So it's fine. Then I have found this process. It's totally amazing. It is a mind program that. So you see the whole thing of having anxiety, and you having anxiety that you do not know what's wrong. You just have anxiety, and it's so strong, it is so crippling, it is so overwhelming. You cannot get out of bed, you don't want to see people, you are just a mess. You don't even know why, but it's just literally chemicals in your brain doing all sorts of things that are not wrong, that are wrong. So I found the spiritual method, and it goes with things like hypnotherapy and a whole lot of things that I've been able to put together. But we go to the emotional part of your brain, and we go and we stop the activators that are going off without you knowing. So let's say at some point when you were 8 years, you were traumatized by somebody who's wearing a red t-shirt. Now you've forgotten this incident, but there in that brain, the file says red t-shirt is danger, or pink t-shirt is a problem, or white car is a problem, or a glass of water is a problem, or a person smiling is a problem. Like literally there could be anything in that type of your brain. Now you're just chilling somewhere, and then somebody's smiling, and then you are triggered. You don't know, your anxiety is triggered. You just are walking by and there's a white car passing, you are triggered. You do not know what is going on. You just get triggered by so much that you don't even understand, and you now live in the state of anxiety because your brain receptors are firing anxiety. You don't even know what is triggering you. So then your brain is holding on to information that you really don't need. So now the problem is that when you go to therapy, in therapy they do not clear up your brain. They just help you to cope with all these triggers. They help you to cope, but they don't clean the brain out. The problem is that you can cope with saying, when I'm anxious, I must count to 10. When I'm anxious, I must do this. But that is coping. But like I said, in flu, you don't want to give Panado for the fever, because in 2 hours the fever is going to be back because the Panado would have finished its work. You want to go and actually take out the problem, take out the poison, which is the actual flu. So now this program literally goes to the brain and start to delete the files. Of course, it's a few more sessions. So Angie, like you say, you don't want to use plant medicine. There is other methods, but they might take a little bit longer than plant medicine. But then again, I'm not even saying plant medicine is the end of the road. There's always something else you can use. But as long as you're doing something to do the healing, that is the most important thing. So when you are going and deleting the actual files, like you have been brainwashed, you have been taught that you must live your life in a gaslight mode. You have been taught that people who love bomb you and then traumatize you after loving you are good for you. So normally people who are people pleasers, any people pleasers in the house? If you're a people pleaser, you've been trained in love bombing. So sometimes you find yourself going and doing it to other people. So when a person that is trained in love bombing goes and do it to others, they normally don't want anything for free. So you will get to a place and they say, hey, we want to give you this thing for free. We want you to, you don't want free things. You're like, I don't want free things. Don't help me. Don't help me. You know, all these people that are like, I'm a strong woman. Don't help me. I don't want help from people. I'm fine. You literally don't know how to receive. You are running a love bombing thing because you pay for love. If you're not charging me for this, then I start with, like, guys, I can tell you, like, I've been in situations where if people are doing good things for me, I feel like I want to run away. I feel like, open the door, let me run for my life, because I will just start sweating. I was just like, you can't do this for me. You can't do. Like everything in me is saying no. Why am I not paying for this? Why are you giving it to me free? Why are you doing so many things for me? Oh, horrible. So then you will then go into life. Every time something needs to happen to you, somebody needs to help you, nobody wants to help you. Then in your normal conscious mind, you complain like, oh, people don't want to help me, nobody is ever there for me. No, in your file, at the back of your file, you've got the love bombing file running that says you pay for love. If you're not paying for love, it's not happening. Do you see then how these things work? Okay, so what time is it? What time? Oh, time goes so fast when we're having these conversations. Okay, so any questions? Let me take questions, and let me see how far we can go. But let me take questions. I want to talk about the guilt tripping and the shame inducing stuff, and then we will end day for tonight because time is so finished. I wanted it to be an hour. I was hoping for an hour, really I was. Now the hour is gone. So questions, and we will see how far we are going. So another thing on the okay, Klengi is asking, she says, you are talking about me. I feel like I'm cheating people when I take things for free. People pleasing is the pit, cause you think you are a good person but you actually live like a puppy. Yeah. And so remember, love bombing needs to be reinforced. So now the thing is that so remember when the first time you were taught this love bombing thing, somebody else is very triggered and realizing that I have a lot of traumas to deal with. Yeah, I mean, I'm really trying to make this so simple, but these are things that we need to deal with. During the weekend I was preparing for these sessions, I was triggered like nobody's business. Like I was so triggered, it wasn't funny. I was preparing for these sessions, I was preparing to come and deliver this work, but I was so traumatized by my own traumas that I just like, what? Even that? Nah. I literally went and was like, God, no, man. No, man, you cannot. I cannot be carrying so much traumas in me. But it makes sense because these are the things that I've been asking questions about. Like, why is this not happening? Why is this not happening? Now I have the answers and I'm just like, I'm not happy with the answers. I am not happy with why I don't have what I don't have. In case of the things that I'm like, I want this now. Now I need to move to this level. So I know it's triggering, but just work with it. Tomorrow we're going to start doing the clearing process, and tomorrow we're not going to be doing the live, guys, the other, because I'm going to be doing the clearing. So only the people that are on the webinar are going to be able to do the clearing work with me. I cannot have all this. They will just totally destabilize me because I'm going to be doing energy clearing work. I'm just going to be only on the webinar. So please make sure that you join in on the webinar, because I won't be doing the live streaming on the other platforms. Now, I wanted to make a note in the process of love bombing is that when you are taught, when you are taught it for the first time, what will normally happen is that you are going to be put in that honeymoon mode. Now, when you are in that honeymoon mode, the honeymoon mode is when the whole thing of the feel good is displayed. And remember, because it's so short, the honeymoon mode, it's normally so short that you really do not understand it, but you're just given the feeling. And then immediately it is stopped. Now you need to work for it. So the moment you start working for it, now you get even smaller bits and pieces. Now the less you get, the more you want. So when you feel like somebody is coming to give you that feel good, like, oh, you love me, oh, you can really take care of me, you remember that you've got to pay for it, because every time now when this love bombing was happening, you had to pay with more and more and more and more and more. Now you are so traumatized by all the pain you've been doing that you don't want anybody to help you in the planet, because you don't have nothing to pay with. Do you understand how crazy this thing is? So somebody wants to give you a better job where you just get paid for being you, just like there's not much they're asking from you. You block it. You know how many times I've helped people get those kind of jobs where they can just go to the office and run their own businesses while they're getting paid. And they're like, all my life I never got a job like this. I always got the jobs that were traumatizing me. But then now, because we deleted a certain file, they can't get a job like that. But somebody else is asking something here, sorry. How do we join the webinar? Oh, the webinar, there's a link. There's a link in my Facebook. You can send you're on TikTok. You can send a DM and I'll send you the link to join the webinar. But there's a link on my Facebook page to join it. There's a link on my Instagram, I think, but it's literally on my Facebook, Busiselesho. There is a link there to join it from there. You can join it. You can register for the webinar there. So, what was I saying? Okay, I was talking about this love bombing thing. So now, because you were given this like good feeling thing, and then it was taken away from you, then you had to pay for it and pay for it and pay for it. Now you don't want to do it because you know that for everything that feels good, I have to pay so much and over. So you literally close off. You literally close off. So now that is why you will entertain somebody who, let's say in a relationship, somebody comes with drama and they come with pain. You prefer the pain over the good, because the good comes with payments. Then you will choose the rubbish humans. You will attract the rubbish humans, because at least the rubbish humans are already just traumatizing me, that's all. I don't have to pay for it. But in a work situation, you will choose where they just like pay peanuts, because that makes sense. In the, but so at all times where you're gonna be given something good, like just like because you are that person, just because you are just because you are amazing, just you run from it. So I have experienced that. I have experienced it where I'm just like, and I will do weird things. I will actually irritate the people who are giving me this help. I will do wrong things, like almost like bewitched. I'm bewitched. I will do bad, creepy stuff and just reject their energy, and they just like want to leave me alone. Because now they're doing too much. And I feel like they're not making me pay for it. Now this is wrong. That is how love bombing is such a problem. If you really experienced it when you're growing up. So I grew up in an environment where I didn't have parents, so the people that I lived with, I needed to perform for them to like give me food and these kind of things, you know. So I grew up in that environment that you need to get good grades, you need to do this, you need to do this. Like I hate it even now, like to tell my kids get good grades, then you'll get this. I hate it because I don't want them to learn love bombing. Like you just don't. I'm not saying don't do that with your kids. It's a trauma for me, you know. But I know how that was installed in me. That later on, I wanted to dance for my food every time. And God now doesn't give the good things with hard work. God gives the good things as blessings. Now you will never receive a blessing from God. When your love bombing file is high up there and doing the most, there's no way you're receiving anything from. You can pray, you can fast, you're not receiving nothing because you believe in your subconscious mind that you cannot receive easy stuff. All right, so any questions? Let's deal with questions, because I think if I start with the other thing, the guilt tripping and the shame inducing, it will just take too long. Then we will do that tomorrow, and we will then do the clearing. But it's only gonna be on the webinar, guys. So if you are not on the webinar, please make sure that you are getting the link and then joining the webinar tomorrow evening. Okay, any questions? If we don't have questions, we'll stop here tonight. So, the other thing is that during the retreat, I've changed the retreat a little bit. We normally have 5 ceremonies, which are fire cleansing, river cleansing, waterfall cleansing, ayahuasca, and San Pedro. So there's 5 processes. So we're not gonna be doing in this one. We're not gonna be doing waterfall cleansing. We're gonna be doing this new technology that I've been talking about, the one to stop the anxiety. We're gonna be working with that part of the brain it's a brain receptive part that works with emotions and feel good. Part of the brain, the emotional brain that makes us feel good or bad. So I want to do a session on that on the retreat. So it needs some time. So it's gonna be like 2 hours to 3 hours. So we're taking some time off to do that. And I really would love you guys to come through and experience that. Like I tell you, we're gonna do 2 sessions, but even 1 session, you feel the anxiety just leaves you alone. And when the anxiety is gone, you can think straight. When the anxiety is gone, you can function. Oh, you can function. Pumzile says, Busi and everyone, no question, just want to say thank you for clear explanation of this trauma. So I'm so aware of them now. Thank you, Pumzile, for joining us. Thank you. So when you are able to function without anxiety, you close a lot of these loopholes. Things like being desperate, things like feeling like your life is ending the next moment, feeling like you don't know where to go, feeling like you need that so much, or not doing much about stuff that you need to do stuff about. So work through these things. I know I've been doing this work all my life. It doesn't end, and I cannot promise you that it ends, but it gets better and you see the progress in yourself. And of course, why doesn't it end? It's because the day it ends, it's gonna be the day when you are leaving the body alone and you only continue in the spirit. So while you have this body, there is so many big things you need to learn. There are so many big things that you need to achieve. There are so many big things that you need to impact on other people's lives. That's why we're doing this work. Sibongile says this is super formative and eye-opening. Thank you so much, Sibo, for joining us. So we are having the retreat, and the registration up to the 5th of April, guys, is discounted. Oof, yeah, we have to discount it. Well, not me who's discounting it, believe me. So there's a discount up to 5th of April. So if you want to join the retreat, please make sure that you sign up. The WhatsApp number is on this. It's on there. Don't know if I can put it on the other places. Okay, there's a WhatsApp line, but like, okay, I can't do it here on Instagram. 061 221 5867. Send a WhatsApp and say, please add me on the webinar. Add me on the. Okay, let me do this. I think you guys can see this. It's 061 221 5867. Okay, it's on that chat box. Just ask that my PA add you on the list of the people who are coming to the retreat, and then she will send you a link for all the information of the retreat. It's happening in Mahalis. Now, there is a process of preparing for the retreat. Please make sure that you get that also. Also, one thing about the retreat that is quite important is that you are able to go into a separate environment. Now, the place that we do the retreat is such a high vibrational place. But the thing is that when you leave your house, you know, the demons that chase you around and do funny things to you, you sort of don't have connections with them. And you are in this place where you can just spend time and heal for that weekend. So we're doing it on the Good Friday weekend. It's going to be a very charged weekend. This 2025, it's a number 9 year. It's quite a powerful year for letting go of stuff. So it's gonna Good Friday is gonna be very charged. So it's a good time to do this kind of work. So try by all means that you come through to a retreat. Try by all means. You don't want to be doing this work by yourself at home, doing a little bit there, doing a little bit there. Come through. Just put yourself in and do this work. You're always going to come out with something amazing after it. Now, so tomorrow evening at 6, we're going to be starting with the clearing. I am not going to be doing the live there. I'm going to be only doing the webinar. We're going to be doing a lot of clearing, so it's going to be tense. Please make sure that you find yourself a good space. Like, you know, if you have to lock yourself in the bathroom, do it. But just make sure that you're in a place where you can be just by yourself and be able to connect, you know, lie down, have some water with you there, and just connect with yourself and just tell yourself, I'm ready to do the healing work. I'm ready to do the healing work. We're going to be doing some good stuff tomorrow. So be ready at 6. If you can be ready at 6, I mean, I know sometimes you're coming from work and all these kind of things, but just try to just, you know, manifest your day that by 6 o'clock you are ready. We're gonna be starting with the clearing around about 6:30. So if you are still on the traffic, like, try to make sure you're home by 6:30 and you log in and we're doing the work. And if you have any questions, send me info. Okay, let me give you my personal number. My personal number is 082-534-6625. That is my personal line. If there's anything that you want to ask and stuff like that, you can contact me there. If you're on TikTok, please make sure that you send an inbox and then we'll give you the links to join in. If you are also on Instagram, do that. So guys, thank you so much. Have a lovely, lovely evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And then I'll see you tomorrow evening. Thank you so much. Good night. Oh. Okay, so how do I close this?
Recording stop.